Sorry, distracted by shiny things. Hey guys, just a quick little introduction. I am Lauren J. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I like to do get ready with me style videos using products that are new to me, or just need a little bit of more love in my collection. And today I am doing all of those things. I picked up a few new products, and today I'm doing a little bit different style just because I am focusing just on face products today. So blush, bronzer, and highlight. And so I will have already had most of my makeup done off camera, always using things that I love in my collection, and that's just kind of the vibe of this channel. So if you want to see the new products I put on my face and how I'm doing sort of my summer makeup lately and the things that I'm loving, just keep watching. Well, hey guys, welcome back to my not quite bare face today. So I'm doing something a little different. I am not focusing on eyeshadow today as I am wont to do, but I'm going to be focusing more on cheek and face products. So today I already have my brows, my eyes, mascara, sunscreen, skincare, and my Danessa Myricks blurring balm powder down with a little bit of the Flower Beauty Vanilla Concealer and a bit of powder on. So I've already done most of that, and today what I want to focus on are a couple of cheek products that I recently picked up. Now, you have seen me apply the Water Fresh blush from Chanel in the shade Light Pink. I picked that up just to see if I like the formula, and because it was so light, you know, I figured there wasn't much that could go wrong, you know, either way, unless the formula just didn't work for me. And I ended up really loving that formula. So what I picked up the next time was this Water Fresh blush in Deep Apricot. Now this shade really intrigued me because it's really hard to find any reviews of this on YouTube because it is like the second deepest shade. And I have seen a couple of people swatch like all of them, but most people just stuck to sort of the pink or peachier end of the spectrum. Probably the most deep they got was the, what is it, Intense Coral. You know, and so it just really intrigued me because I know in reality it's probably, you know, not something I would use every day, but in the summer, like I saw this on another YouTuber, and it just had this really, she described it as a terracotta shade, and that just like clicked in my brain. Like, I love terracotta blushes. I love that, you know, and if it's a little too deep, maybe I can try to get it to more like sort of like a bronzer, not a contour, but like a little bit of like sun-kissed glow. And so I picked this up, and I will say, this is not my first time using it. I used it for the first time yesterday when I went out. We went to the art fair, and this was pretty much the only product that I didn't even want to use bronzer after I put this on my face because it just blended in so nicely to the skin. And because it was the first time using it, I pumped a big bunch out on my hand, and of course, you know, it goes all over your hand. And so I was just trying to use it, and so I would put a little bit up here and a little bit up here, you know, and just kind of go down my neck, and it was the most beautiful sun-kissed color, in addition to being, you know, building up on your cheeks as that beautiful terracotta blush. So today I'm not going to put it all over my face. I do have some bronze and blush and highlight products in here that I want to use, but yesterday all over my face pretty much, with just like a little bit of the Milk Illuminator stick, and it was just this beautiful sort of bronzy glow. I just felt so confident and so pretty. Anyway, so this is the Deep Apricot shade, and what I'm going to do is just pump out a little bit onto my onto my ring finger and just apply right to my cheek. And you see how deep that starts out. And then you just break up the pigments. And spread it around. and it's just the most beautiful sun-kissed glow. You can see it starts out very sort of red, like it's Hey It's Jacqueline, who is the one that I saw do the review on this one, and she called it, again, terracotta, and that's exactly, you know, how you can get this to look at first, but then once it starts to dry down, it just turns into this more sort of bronzy golden shade. And if you want a little bit on your nose, you can do that. A little bit. And of course, I said I wasn't going to do this, but of course now I'm going to do it because this is just such a pretty shade. Just put a little bit of that up here for like a sun-kissed look. And even just, so for me, even just that sort of half a pump that I use is already, I can see that's too much for this side. And, you know, I knew that was a possibility, so that is why I'm just moving it around. I'm not even putting another pump, I'm just moving it around to the other side. So now I know, this is my second time using this, now I know how deep even just sort of half a pump is, and that I don't need to use that much, and how far it can go. So just blending it out with my fingers. And I guess if you don't really like a bronzy or like a red toned bronzy look, this probably just isn't for you. But for me, I really love this sort of like sun-kissed, sort of burnt by the sun look for my skin tone. And obviously I can't speak to what this is going to look like on a much deeper skin tone, but I would think, I don't know, it would look very beautifully peachy. It is deep apricot, so you know, I haven't been able to see a lot of reviews of this product on deeper skin tones or on any skin tones at all, to be honest. So I thought I would just, you know, try this out, and, you know, hopefully this would be helpful to someone else maybe thinking about this shade. I'm also like very deeply intrigued about the bronze, the deep bronze shade, which is the deepest shade. And how I could use that, just because I really do just really love this formula so much, and there's just seems to be so many ways to utilize it. And you know, when you first pump it out, it doesn't seem like it's gonna dry down. It just seems like it's gonna be weird and beady and kind of, you know, awkward to work with, but it's so easy to blend out. I think, as you can see, I'm really just, you know, it'll dry down, but you can still take bits of it and move it over the pigment to wherever you need it. And I think that's really just makes it a really versatile product. For me anyway, it does. And, you know, I'm really enjoying this Water Fresh blush formula. It is expensive. It's a $50 product. So, I mean, you know, it's really up to you whether it's worth it to you or not. I just find the formula and the application to be really unique to my collection. And, you know, for that, because I do have a lot of makeup, I think for me, that's kind of worth it, especially as it's like a liquid blush, and it's not going to move around. It's going to stay. It might fade during the day, but for the most part, it's going to, you know, it's not going to move around. It's not going to, you know, come off on your hand. So yeah, and as it goes along, I feel like these blushes just get better during the day as they go along. As you can see, like this started out incredibly deep, and I've been able to kind of even it out here and then just do a little bit of sort of bronzing. You know, obviously this is going to work better for me in the summertime than it is in the winter, but who knows. And as I get to know the formula a little bit better and the color a little bit better, maybe I'll find different ways to use it. But I just thought it would be helpful to see what this shade is, just because I have not seen so many people review the deeper shades. And necessarily, I understand that, you know, my skin tone is not representative and it's not going to show you everything you need, but I think hopefully it'll just give you sort of an idea of whether this would be something for you or not. Anyway, that's the Deep Apricot shade. And then I saw another new release from Physicians Formula. Now again, I just applied a blush product. I have blush, bronze, and highlight products coming out the wazoo, but Physicians Formula released another one of their palette type products. I love their palette products. They're sort of multi-use products. The one with Whaley I have right here. This is the Physicians Formula times Whaley Butter Collection. I adore this one so much. I use this one so much. These two highlights and these two blushes are some of my favorites in my collection. And so I'm always intrigued when Physicians Formula comes out with a new palette, especially in their butter formula. And this time they did a collab, and being a child of the 80s, I couldn't resist. So this is the Physicians Formula and the Breakfast Club Saturday Detention Volume 1. So I'm curious to see if there's going to be a Volume 2 or what's going on. They don't tend to, like, when they release products like these, you kind of just have to find them at Walgreens, and then sort of like a week later they'll announce it, and then later they'll sort of start heavily promoting it. But it's kind of like everything Physician Formula does is sort of like this soft release at Walgreens, so it's really weird. But anyway, my Walgreens had it, so I was like, I gotta pick this up. So it's got the whole gang from the Breakfast Club on there. Love it so much. The guys doing the dance on the table, and of course you've got Molly Ringwald and Ali Sheedy. And then on the inside there's no mirror. You just get some pictures from the movie. Obviously you get Molly Ringwald and the whole gang there. So this is the colors of the palette. They're all named after characters and themes of the movie. So you have two highlighters here. You have the Brain, which is kind of this like purpley duochrome shade. I'm trying to figure out if this is like Pearl from their regular line or if there's another iridescent shade from their regular line, but it's got sort of this pinky purpley shift to it, even though it's, you know, quite icy. And then you have the Basket Case, which is this sort of champagne-y gold, but it's not quite, I don't think it's quite champagne from their, I don't think this is champagne from their regular line, but I'm not sure. It kind of looks like a mix between champagne and like the one from the Murmur Butter palette, which was, let's see, kind of looks a bit like the one from the small palette in Tropical Sands. Now I'm going to open this, but this is cracked, so I'm not going to be able to hold it up together. I think that's maybe just maybe you can see that. I don't know. I think this one's just maybe a little bit lighter, but maybe it's the same. And if it's the same, that's awesome, because this is a beautiful highlight, but every time I buy this palette, the shade comes cracked. Anyway, that's the Basket Case. And then you've got two blushes. You've got the Princess, which is sort of this beautiful peachy shade, and then you've got this pink called the Rebel. And then you've got two bronzer shades. This is a shimmery bronze called the Athlete, and then you have the Class of '84 deeper matte bronze shade. So as you can see, there is a little bit of a imprint in there. This is kind of like some paper trails, you know, paper airplane. You've got a crumpled up piece of paper, and then you've got a couple of sayings in here. So it says, "Sincerely yours, the Breakfast Club." So, you know, I I have held off on their last couple of palettes. I really did want to try the Butter Dream Team palette. I haven't been able to find it at Walgreens for like at all, and I don't want to pay the $20 from Ulta. I don't know. I think this was like $18.50 at Walgreens, which, you know, granted, it's not that big of a discount, but, you know, seeing as it was actually there and I could actually pick it up and look at it, I decided to go for it. So I just wanted to compare some of the things from the Whaley palette. Obviously, the highlighters in this one are much deeper than the ones in this palette. You've got some icier, champagneier shades, and these are obviously deeper, more golden-y, and I love both of these. They both work for me. And then you have the shades for the blushes down the middle. Now I would say the peachier one is probably closer to the one in Apricot here. I think this is a little bit, this one is a little bit cooler maybe. But then obviously you see the one on the bottom. This is Wildflower, one of my favorite blushes. And then the one on the bottom is the Rebel here. Much, much pinker, much more just brighter. So, and then you have the two blushes in here. I would say they're pretty comparable. I actually haven't had much of a chance to use this regular bronze shade. I've heard that it's not quite the same bronze as the one in the regular Physicians Formula packaging. But they look pretty similar, except that I think both of these kind of have a sheen to them, and this one definitely has a matte on the bottom. I wanted to use some of these products and just give you a sense of, you know, how they swatch, how they look, because there's just not a lot of info out there yet on this product. So I thought I would give you some arm swatches first, because I don't want to put all of them on my face. So I thought I would start out with the Brain. And that one is this sort of iridescent duochrome with pinky purple in it. And then the Basket Case. Much more of just a light. But very pretty, very rich. And then we'll go into the Princess Blush. It's a very pretty shade. And then the Rebel. These are nice and soft. It's a nice sort of bubblegum pink shade. And we have the Athlete, And again, this has shimmer in it. Kind of gives it a sheen, but not like a super sparkly one. And then Class of '84. Deeper and matte. So not super, super deep. I'll see if I can build it up a little bit. It's kind of built up. Certainly not as deep as some of the, like the latte bronzer or some of the ones from the Cheat Day collection. And not sure if this is as deep as the deep bronzer, but those are all 6 shades. And of course the highlighters are both that putty formula from the Butter formula. So these all look like they are from the Butter collection. It just says on the back that they are infused with Murumuru butter, Kapausu butter, and Takuma butter. So yeah, it looks like it's pretty much their standard butter formula. So I thought this was a really cute little palette. There are some lipsticks. They did have them at Walgreens. I picked them up. They kind of felt a bit cheap, so I didn't pick them up. They weren't colors that I needed. I have enough lip products at the moment, so I just thought I would pick this one up because I do love their palettes. I love the size of the pans in the palettes, and I use these, like, I love using these as an all-in-one. They really do work for me. Excuse me. I've yet to see if this one will, like, actually work for me. I do love an icy highlight like this. I just don't use it a ton, but I'm pretty sure that this one will be beautiful, and I will use both of these, and I will use both of these at some point. So I thought I would just do a little bit of bronzing on my face, and then just do a little bit of some highlight on my face. So I think I will go into, let's see, I think I'm just going to go into the Athlete here for a little bit of shimmer, since I already have that deep apricot on my face. I don't feel like I need a lot of deepening up, but I could use a little bit of shimmer. And these do have a little bit of kick up. And the nice thing about this pan, the pans in here, is that yes, it does have that cute embossing, but it's not, it's just like a paper airplane and some words. So it's not like I'm gonna be too precious about wearing them away. So, and I love to use these. I haven't been able to smell the butter smell in here, but sometimes that doesn't come through until you've used it a few times and sort of really dug into it. And I think I'm just going to use a little bit of the Princess just to sort of see what the formula is like. Again, maybe it's got a bit of a fragrance. I can't tell yet, but just put a little bit of that on top there. A little bit of extra sort of peachiness. And then I'm just going to tap a bit of the basket case on my cheekbones. Do I have cheekbones? I mean, kind of. I mean, I know I have cheekbones, but do I have cheekbones? It's really pretty. I just love the butter highlighters. They're so gorgeous and so versatile. And this one, these ones that don't have a lot of glitter in them are just so pretty for highlighting on the forehead. and a bit on the décolleté. I've just been enjoying doing a little bit more down here around my chest area. I don't usually put makeup all over my body, but I figured. I've been out in the sun a lot more this summer just because I want to be out. I haven't had that chance for the last 2 years, so I am getting a little bit of a deeper tan than I normally would. So I'm just kind of playing with these sort of different like bronzers and blushes and deeper tones to see how that, you know, looks on my my more tanned skin tone. So I'm just gonna put on a lip combo that I used yesterday that I really loved. This is the KIKO Milano Charming Escape Long Lasting Lip Liner in 01. I think this is titled Latte, but they don't put the names of it, but it's 01. I think you can still get this collection on their website. And then this is the e.l.f. Hydrating Core Lip Shine in Giddy. And I like this because it just adds a bit of, this is very corally, but orangey, but this one adds a bit of brown to it and just takes it down a little bit and makes the e.l.f. product last a little longer. These pens are very soft. So this is the finished look using products from Chanel, the new Deep Apricot shade of the Water Fresh blush, and then the Physicians Formula and Breakfast Club Saturday Detention Volume 1 palette. So really fun to pick up. Like I adore this formulation. I really adore this formulation too. Just like makeup has been really fun again lately. So yeah, I just had to. You gotta throw a little fun into your life every now and then. So I'm really enjoying these products and what they're giving me right now. So yeah, I would suggest, like, if you're interested in these, like, check them out. Like, maybe just if you're a little bit afraid of how they're gonna work for you, maybe just pick a lighter shade like I did and then sort of work your way up. I think you can see that the way they dry down, the way they blend in, you really can get them to work for you. At least I can. So your mileage may vary depending. Like, I am not a huge liquid blush person. Obviously this is a $50 blush, you don't need it, but if you're interested in it, I would say give it a try because it is very fun to play with, and you do get a beautiful sort of sun-kissed or powder fresh tinted look to your face. And then of course this is what a 19, probably retails for $19.99 in most places. You can probably get it from like 15 to 20 bucks anywhere. Definitely, like, not a must-have if you have any of the Physicians Formula palettes. You probably don't need it, but if you're a child of the 80s, must-have. And so yeah, I am really just enjoying the things that I've picked up lately using the stuff I already have. I have my Viseart eyeshadows on today from palettes I recently picked up. Still using the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm powder. Still using my tried and true powders and concealers, and my tried and true lip liners and lip products. So, you know, just mix something new in every once in a while. And things don't start to get so overwhelming if you love makeup like I do and just want to try everything new. So I hope that you enjoyed seeing how these products work for me, and hopefully you'll be able to tell or be able to see if you want to try to see if they'll work for you. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Any of those would be welcome, and all of those would be appreciated. Thank you so much for watching and spending some time with me today, and I will see you in the next one, guys. Bye.